Welcome back, Meat Militia. Today we're doing grass-fed, thick-cut ribeyes from Dry Lakes Ranch on the Weber Kettle. It's time to cook, so fall in. So for today, we're keeping it super basic, super simple, easy to do at home. What we did is we got these two grass-fed, thick-cut ribeyes from Dry Lakes Ranch, just seasoned them up simply with salt, pepper, and granulated garlic, put them in a vacuum-sealed bag and sous vide them at 132 degrees for 4.5 hours. Now, if you've watched a couple of my other videos where we've done sous vide, I like to keep the temperature relatively low, but take the time a little bit farther. What that does is it helps the meat to really start to break down. I kind of described it before as you start to enter this land somewhere between the texture of a steak and the texture of a roast. And that's the way my family likes it. It's pink edge to edge all the way through, but it's not the more chewy consistency that you will sometimes get from a steak. It'll be, but not fall apart tender either. It'll be soft, tender, fully cooked, pink edge to edge. And we're gonna simply sear them on charcoal on the Weber Kettle. I am also gonna add, right before I throw it on the fire, the Takai umami powder. Again, this is simply dehydrated shiitake mushrooms. We'll sprinkle that on both sides, and it brings that natural MSG to elevate the flavors of the steak and the flavors of the seasoning. So let's get the fire started. Lid on the first try. I have the grill gun that I use for heating my charcoal. Sometimes this thing can be a little finicky, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't know if it has to do with the connections or with how much propane is in the tank, but sometimes this thing is like a freaking rocket engine, and sometimes it's just hot. It always does a good job of lighting charcoal, but because of how inconsistent it is for me, or at least that's what my experience is with the grill gun, I haven't used it to sear a steak yet. I was thinking about searing these with the torch. I just don't have confidence that I was going to have the flame that I wanted to get the result that I wanted. So I'm going to get this heated up. I know with 3/4 of a basket, now I do have the slow and searing here, so with 3/4 of a basket of charcoal, it leaves me about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches from the grill grates. That gets me right up into that 600-degree range and doesn't burn the steaks like it does if you fill it all the way up. So again, this is the Takai umami powder. It's simply dehydrated shiitake mushrooms. It is a natural source of MSG. We take it out of the bag and put it into a food processor because when it comes out of the bag, it's extruded, so it has like grains of rice. And we want it to be a little bit finer when we put it on the steak, so we put it in the food processor, pulverize it, and then we can just put it on out of the shaker. We patted them dry, put them on this cookie rack with a sheet underneath just to remove any excess moisture, because we want that surface nice and dry when it hits the charcoal to get that nice sear. We're only going to hit that for maybe 30 seconds. We want to prevent that brown or gray banding, but we also don't want a heavy, dark grill grate mark or char on it. We want a nice, fully browned, seared surface, is the way my family likes it. This is not a competition steak. We're not trying to get the perfect diamond pattern. We want a nice crust. We'll hit the fat cap on the edge. And I gotta tell you, I get meat from a lot of different places. And I mentioned it at the beginning, but these steaks we picked up from Dry Lakes Ranch in Cedar City, Utah. They raise and process their beef from birth to plate. If you have an opportunity, we will put their website and Facebook link and all of that information so you can look them up. But if you're in the area and you're looking for some top quality meat, you need to check these guys out. I've had all the names, and I'm not going to mention them, but I've had all the names that you've had that everyone says is the best. And to me, this stacks right up against it. In some cases, I think is even better. So you should definitely give them a try. Okay, so I don't want the steaks to stick to the grill. I am flipping them about every 30 seconds. Now, there's a couple different ways we can go about it. I can take my avocado oil and spray it on the grates, and that'll happen. You get the big flare up, the grease burns off before it ever hits, the oil burns off before it ever hits the grates. You can also take it and just give a mist right on top of the seasoning. It's going to, number one, protect and hold that seasoning on, but it's going to give me the oil I need to make sure it doesn't stick. I'm going to flip these over, hit this side, and we are ready to cook. Oh, baby. This is what life is all about. So now for the moment of truth. And I can tell you, I've been around enough steaks that I can look at a steak and smell a steak and tell you if it's going to be good. This is going to be amazing. Mrs. Militia made some homemade mashed potatoes and brown gravy. We've got some green beans and some homemade cheddar biscuits. It's a tough job, but somebody has to do it. So I'm going to take first, oh my gosh, bro. This is crazy tender. Look, let me just prop this up. Oh my gosh, look at that. Perfect, edge to edge pink. I've done dry age, I've done Wagyu, I've done prime and choice. This cap is crazy. I don't know why I'm using a knife right now. This is butter tender. It almost has the texture of like a pulled pork or something like that. It is so soft. See how we did? Oh my gosh. I am not lying to you. This is the best steak I've ever done. I am not even lying.
It's a ribeye. I'm always.
This is better than any rib. It is insane. It is so soft. If you didn't have teeth, you could gum this. So good. All right. Let's try a little manners and get a perfect bite here. Golly. Just want to dip a little bit of that potato and gravy in there. Wow. So what did we learn today? Rule number 1, buy good meat. You'll have a better result. Number 2, there's a reason why sous vide and sear is my favorite method of cooking steak. Results like this, repeatable every single time. And keep it simple. Salt, pepper, garlic, that's it. A little bit of umami powder right at the end. Doesn't get any easier than that. I especially want to give a shout out to Dry Lakes Ranch in Cedar City, Utah. Again, as far as I'm aware of, it's the only birth to plate meat processing that I've ever seen. They raise their own cattle, they slaughter and process their own cattle, and they control the retail at their store. I have not found a superior product. They have been very supportive of our channel and helped us to pick out the meats that we're cooking, and I want to thank them so much for their support. And I encourage you, visit their website. It's www.drylakesranch.com. I'll put a link in the description below, or should I say I'll have Aaron put a description and a link below, or visit them on Facebook. We'll have that link as well. Thanks so much. If this is your first time visiting our channel, thank you so much. Please consider subscribing. If you like what you saw, give us a thumbs up. And either way, please leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like. That's how we get better at what we do. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much. We absolutely appreciate and love all of our subscribers. Consider sharing this video on your other social media outlets. That's how we get the word out and grow the Militia Nation. I'm gonna take one more bite, but until next time, get outside and cook.